If there's one thing that has affected Arsenal this season, it is injuries. And it's not to say that there has not been other problems that have been facing Arsenal this season. No, there's been lots and lots of problems, but I want to focus on the injury problem. And the reason as to why I'm talking about injury, it is the fact that we've had so many players who have gotten injured. So many of them. And I'm not trying to say that players should be perfect. No, players are human beings, and human beings is to error. And human beings, they get sick, they get injured, because when you play like this, you are not a machine, you get injured. And even machines, they break down at some point and they would need service, and at the same time, they will even need to be replaced completely. Now, at Arsenal, why I'm complaining about all this injury problem is the fact that everybody is here asking themselves, are these injuries that we should or could have avoided? And the answer is yes. There's lots and lots of injuries. There is a shoulder injury, head injury, knee injury, hamstring injury, lots of injuries. But one injury specifically, the hamstring injury that we have faced this season, more than 4 or 5 of our players have gotten this hamstring injury. And is it an injury that can be avoided? Yes, it is an injury that can be avoided. Then who should we blame for the fact that these our players are getting these hamstring injuries? Before we even talk about who should we blame, I want to say why I feel like these hamstring injuries can actually be avoided. All of our players that have gotten hamstring injury, these are injuries that have looked like they are premeditated injuries. These are injuries that all Arsenal fans and everybody that understands and watch football and watches Arsenal would easily say that this is something that was incoming. It was just a matter of time before it would hit Arsenal about the hamstring injuries. Because look, Arsenal players last season, most of our players played so much time. So much time. Last season, but one, this last season, and even this season. In fact, last season, players at Arsenal are the ones that played as many minutes on the pitch as compared to any club in the English Premier League. It's given. You can research and see. It's out there. And then the same players, they've come in again on this season to play for Arsenal. More minutes. Additional minutes to what the minutes that they got from 2 seasons ago and into this season. A player like Gabriel Meghalaes, how many games has Gabriel Meghalaes played? So many games, game in, game out, week in, week out, month in, month out, season in, season out. For the last 3 seasons, you'd easily tell that this hamstring was just bound to get him. Player like Bukayo Saka, so many games. Player like even Martinelli got himself a hamstring, but in as much as it was not an hamstring that needed a surgery. Player like Havertz also was among the players that was playing every role, in as much as most Arsenal fans don't like him as our number 9. But how many times was Havertz playing on the pitch? Well, how many times would you see Havertz on the wing, on the midfield, everywhere? These injuries, when you play players like that, it only means that at some point they will get tired. At some points their muscles will tear. At some points their hamstrings will hit in. Thing is this, just like machines, service is needed. Some of these players, had we done squad rotation as early enough, even during or in the beginning of the season, try to change players, try to bring in more players into the team that can play rather than the usual players that play, then it only means you are managing these injuries slowly by slowly. Because hamstring injuries, with my little knowledge that I have, if you get more rest, you easily avoid it. But when you overwork week in, week out, your muscles will get tired, and of course the hamstrings will start kicking in. A player like Gabriel Meghalaes, yes, we've gotten that hamstring, and I feel very bad because we really needed him to play for us on this game against Real Madrid. A player like Gabriel Meghalaes, how many centre-backs do we have? We have so many centre-backs at the moment at Arsenal. But how many games has Gabriel Meghalaes played? Game in, game out, week in, week out. The other one is Saliba. The other one is even David Raya. We are even lucky that Thomas Partey this season is not getting injured. And so many of these players, this hamstring would have gotten so many players. Players like Odegaard, we are just lucky. Bad luck, I mean, blessing in disguise. He got himself an injury on that international break. Was it a knee injury or what? And then had to rest. And so many players. So we ought to start being serious as Arsenal and start playing players and doing squad rotation, because this squad rotation is needed so that we can avoid some of these injuries. I'd rather shoulder injury, head injury, knee injury. These are things that you cannot avoid, but hamstring is something that should we just have game management of all of our players, is something that we can easily avoid and postpone it further. Now we are going to play against Real Madrid. Who will hold that defense for us against Saliba? Let's wait and see. Okay, QER can still do it. If Timber is there, he's also a centre back, can still do it. But these are things that we should have avoided. And then the next question is this, then compatibility amongst these players kicks in on such a crucial time against crucial teams like Real Madrid on the Champions League quarterfinal. Now, who should be blamed? Partly I will blame even the coach, Mikel Arteta. He needs to also know how to manage these players. I would also blame him. And even the people who call the shots at Arsenal, I will blame them a bit, because they need to do this team game management of these players. They are not machines at the end of the day, and they need to rest. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, who do you blame about these injuries, and especially the hamstring injuries? Talk to me on the comment section there so that we can keep the conversation going. Because as it is now, we have even lost Gabriel Meghalaes for the rest of the season. Havertz, rest of the season. Bukayo Saka, so many days. But in as much as he's back already, what is his name? Martinelli also got that hamstring injury. And of course, we've had so many injuries. Anyway, remember to comment, like, share, and subscribe on this channel just to support me. Salute you.